honestly, I just don't know what the future holds for us.
Eve and Mohammed from 90 Day Fiance were already one of the worst couples ever, but everything really came crashing down when Eve got arrested, and you'll never believe why. So guys, Mohammed and Eve's relationship has been trouble since the very beginning. They've had disagreements about a lot of things, and now, after the recent cheating scandal, Mohammed has even moved out of their shared house, and he moved in with a couple of his friends, and it really seemed like he and Eve would finally be able to move on from their disastrous relationship. But just a day after he moved out, on August 15th, the police came to Eve's house and arrested Eve for her charges of DV against Mohammed. And apparently Mohammed, had called them and reported that when Eve found out about his affair, she got very angry and wanted to look through his phone, and when he didn't give it to her, she allegedly pushed him to the floor and tried to take his phone by force. Now, we all know that Mohammed has been cheating on Eve with a woman he met on the internet, and it honestly wouldn't be surprising if Eve finally lost her patience with Mohammed in some way, and there's a good reason why Eve would want to see more of their messages. In some of the leaked messages that we saw on the show, Mohammed and his new girlfriend were planning to set up a secret bank account for him, and Eve needs to know about his finances because she's responsible for this kind of stuff, and she's his wife and green card sponsor after all, and if Mohammed, did something illegal, she might even get in trouble. And in other leaked messages, they were even making plans for how and when Mohammed would leave Eve, and I mean, you just have to wonder what else they've been talking about. And of course, that still does not make it right at all for Eve to get physical with Mohammed. Even if she has a right to know these things, she can't just forcefully take someone's phone like that. But it gets worse, because Mohammed also told the police that there were other times he was scared Eve would hurt him, and that this behavior from her was actually nothing new. But Eve says she didn't do any of these things that Mohammed said, and Eve herself has not actually, come out and said anything about the situation on her, social media accounts. But according to her representative, she would never hurt Mohammed like that, and she just wants to be done with this whole relationship and move on with her life. And according to Eve's representative, Mohammed made it all up and even allegedly already admitted he was lying, and although he has not publicly said anything like that. But why would he even make up such a serious accusation in the first place? I mean, Eve's team claims it's actually all a scheme to extend his visa so that he can stay in America even if he and Eve get divorced. And right now, Mohammed can only stay in America because he's married to Eve, who is an American citizen. And we all know, Mohammed and Eve's marriage is not going well at all, and Mohammed has even moved out of their shared house. But if he and Eve get divorced, Mohammed will lose his visa, and he will likely have to return to Egypt. And you can only imagine he might not want to go back, considering that it's, one of the reasons he married Eve in the first place, and it wouldn't be good for his new relationship either, because his girlfriend is American too, and as far as we know, neither Mohammed nor Eve has filed for divorce yet. But with everything going on, it really seems like that we might expect one of them to do so sooner rather than later. So it would make sense that Mohammed would be on the lookout for another visa option, and Eve's representative claims that's exactly what he's trying to do: create a situation where he can apply for another type of visa. As a victim in a DV case that's under investigation, Mohammed can apply for a U visa, and this is a visa program in place for victims of crimes like DV so that they can stay in America and help solve their cases. And regardless of whether or not Mohammed is telling the truth about Eve, as long as the investigation is going on, he gets to apply for the U visa. And some fans have already been saying that it looks like Mohammed is just using Eve for the green card, and that was even before the cheating scandal was revealed. And it just really seems like that he might just want to get divorced now, especially if things are getting serious with his new girlfriend. So it's pretty easy to believe that he might just be making up a false accusations against Eve now, especially with the way that we've seen him treat her on the show. But in the end, it's really hard for us to, tell who's lying, who's telling the truth, because at the end of the day, the only people who really know what's going on inside someone's home are the people who live there, especially when it comes to DV cases. A lot of the time, it can be really tricky to tell what the situation really is, and even for the authorities that are running the investigation, and have a lot more information. But because of this, DV cases can take a really long time to resolve, so it's likely we'll have quite some time to wait before we know what the court decides in Eve and Mohammed's DV case. Obviously, if Mohammed is lying, this is all just completely terrible towards Eve. And if she's telling the truth, she didn't do anything wrong, and now she has a court case against her. And some people probably believe she is the kind of person who hurts her husband. And from the show, it really seemed, she married Mohammed hoping he would be a good life partner to her, and that he would stick with her and help her, care for her son, and they would become a happy family. But instead, the whole relationship has been really rocky and difficult, and they have a huge age difference, and they come from different cultures, which has caused problems for them in the past. And it's pretty clear they both want different things from a relationship. And actually, even though a lot of the couples on 90 Day Fiancé seem to have relationship issues, everyone has apparently voted Mohammed and Eve to be the worst for each other out of everyone on the show. And now Mohammed is claiming that there is a whole new level to how bad the relationship really is. But Eve is not planning to sit back and do nothing. Apparently, according to a representative again, she's planning to raise charges against Mohammed for immigration fraud, because if Mohammed's accusations against Eve are false and he made up a DV case so he could, apply for a U visa, he is committing immigration fraud. And apparently Eve has put together a strong all-woman legal team to help her fight the battle in court against Mohammed, and her attorney Kathleen Martinez has even come on her Instagram to speak out about the case. And according to Kathleen, immigration fraud cases like this actually happen more than you think, and that's actually a really bad thing because the US only gives out 10,000 U visas every year. So people getting one through false accusations actually take U visas away from real DV victims who need one. And Kathleen says that aside from getting justice for Eve, the team also plans to raise awareness about this kind of immigration fraud and why it's so bad. But for now, Eve has a court hearing scheduled for September 6th, so we might find out more about around that time. And with the information we have now, it's impossible to say who's telling the truth in this situation. But with all we know about Mohammed and Eve's relationship, it wouldn't be hard to believe that Mohammed would make a move like this, but we really can't be for sure. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Do you believe Mohammed or Eve? Guys, let me know in the comments below. Such a crazy story. I'm not shocked, but also it's like I am extremely shocked. But either way, guys, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Who do you believe? Put in the comments below. Like always, thank you all so much for watching this video, and y'all better stay tuned for many more.